Well, welcome to another tight topic. This one's on masks. I've done this, doing this video again because the last time I did the video I kept on calling masks layers and layers masks when I reran the thing. I'm not sure why I did that, but if I do it again, I'm sorry. My mouth sometimes gets in the way of what I'm trying to say. So here we go. I'll get rid of myself first here and get on with this video. Okay, we're talking about masks. What you're seeing here is the desert layer on the bottom. These are layers, true. So you see desert layer, and on top of that you see a layer with another monument and Monument Valley, and you see a layer with birds on it. Okay, so we can do some different masking things with these things. So how do we do that? Let's add a mask first to this monument here. When I created the monument and moved it over and made a new monument, I just didn't think there was enough in Monument Valley. If they call it Monument Valley, there should be more monuments. So this one needed an extra one, so I created one here. If I turn it on and off, you can see that's just essentially this one cleared. But you can see on the edges it's not so real good. So let's create a mask for that. The easiest way to do that is go down to the little icon down here below, which is a square with a circle in it, and you click on it. It creates a white mask. White masks reveal, black mask conceal. All right. So if I were to instead of creating a white mask, let's take that mask and drag it into the garbage can here. See, yes, I want to delete that. Instead of creating a white mask, like I did before by clicking on this thing, I could hold down the Alt or Option key, and click. Now I've got a black mask. Black mask conceal. This went away, it disappeared. All right, so that was the Alt click versus the regular click on that. Alt click gives you black. If you just click on it, it gives you white. Okay, so there's other things I can do now. Now that it's white or black, for example, I can also invert the mask. Inverting the mask is easy enough. Another shortcut key to remember is Command or Control I with my cursor on the mask. Now I've got white. Now I've got black. Make sure that you have the cursor on the mask, because if you have the cursor, for example, on this layer here, and you hit Control I, it will invert the layer and make a negative out of it. But that's really not what I want. So I'll hit Control I and do it. If you ever get this, that's because you're on the wrong layer. So get on the mask and hit Control I. Now I've got white. There's other ways of looking at this mask and doing things with this mask. Up here, the properties panel has a lot of information in it. Okay, if you don't have the properties panel up here, I have put it up here, but you can put it wherever you'd like. I recommend you have it somewhere visible. You can go to Windows and Properties here and make sure it's visible and drag it to wherever you like. I have mine up here. Okay, there's different things I can do with the Properties panel, and let's see what those are. First of all, let's do the masking. Okay, I've got the mask here. What you typically do with a mask, take Brush B. All right, the shortcut for brush is B. You'll be painting with whatever the top color is here. If you don't have black and white here, hit D for default, okay? And you'll get the default colors, black and white or white and black. If you hit X, you'll toggle between the two, okay? So I want to paint with black. This is a white mask. What I want to do is I want to conceal these areas around the monument here that are obviously copied over from over here, and they don't look right. They don't blend in right. So how would I do that? With a mask, painting on with black. I'll take my brush with less than 100% opacity, flow rate less than 100%, and start painting on the area around the monument. When you do this kind of work, it's better if you come in close, and that way you can see what you're doing. And I like a soft brush because it makes it blend in easier. As you can see, I'm blending in that change and doing it gently. I might make this rock come down a little bit steeper by getting rid of the rock there. And then on the other side, I'll do the same thing. And I have to brush many times to do that, but I always recommend soft brushes with less than 100% opacity. Now you can see the mask. I'll turn the mask on and off. There's other keys, other things you can do to see this. First of all, the mask itself, if I click on the mask, okay, I hit down the Shift key and click the mask, you'll see a little X show up over the mask. Now the mask is not working anymore. These things are there. The mask is just off. Okay, and I can turn the mask back on and off. I can also see the mask. Okay, if I hit down the Option key and click on the mask, it comes up and shows where I brushed. All right. Now this is where the opacity and feathering comes in, for example. I wouldn't use it so much on this, but there are times you want to. If I change the density of this mask to less than 100%, you can see where I brushed in now becomes a lot lighter. Okay, and as I continue raising it, it comes darker. So this is like when you're going to looking at layers, that's like looking at the opacity of a layer. The opacity is down here for a layer. You can turn a layer opacity on and off also. So this is just the opacity for a mask. And feathering makes whatever I did here softer on the edges. Okay, so if I were to go up on this thing, you'll see it's gotten softer. And the reason you want to do that is sometimes you want to make a real soft edge. If you're working with a horizon on the sky and things like that, you can use this feathering to make the edge really soft. Okay, and that works real well too. Now to get back out of this, I hit down the Option or Alt key again and click on the mask, and I'm back to the original. Okay, I can see where I could do a little bit more work here, but it doesn't look too bad. Let's just say that's good enough for government work. We got that. Now, you know, and there's other things we can do with the mask. For example, I've got these birds up here on a separate layer. I can obviously get rid of the raptor if I want to, doing the same thing, create another mask, and then let's see, do a mask here. I'll create a black mask, white mask, paint with black, and get rid of my raptor so he doesn't go ahead and get after these particular birds here. I had this problem before. Let's go and, whoops, didn't want to do another layer here. Oh, I don't have, let's get my opacity back to 100% here. Now I can get rid of the raptor. All right, I didn't have the opacity of the brush all the way up. And I can thin out the flock here if I'd like to. Okay, so that's how you use masks. There's other ways of creating masks. Okay, another way of creating a mask, other than creating it using this little icon down here, all right, is using the adjustment. So masks come with adjustments come with masks themselves. For example, I go down to the bottom. I'm going to go down to the bottom layer here and do some adjustments to this bottom layer here. Okay, let's just do a levels adjustment. How's that? So I'll hit the adjustment icon down here, it's a little circle with a half circle on it, and do a levels adjustment. Now you can see the adjustment appears just above the layer I had selected, and it has its own mask on it. So whatever I do with this levels adjustment, let's just say we want to brighten up the whole picture a little bit. Okay. On the other hand, I don't. Let's just change the background a little bit. Okay. So I've made some changes to the picture to make it a little brighter. But I really don't want the whole thing to be bright, okay? So I can use this mask to brighten up only the areas I want. For example, if I click on the mask and hit invert, like we did before, Control I, now it's hidden my adjustments, and I can brush them in wherever I want. So I can take the brush tool again, brushing with white, and I can make that brighter where I want it. Say, for example, on the side of the hill here. Oops, I brushed into the sky a little bit there. But that's how I can do some adjustments that are local, if you will. I'm just showing you now that's not really what I'd want to do. I can invert the color of the brush and brush all that out again. But you can see what I can do. I can start highlighting things that way with using a mask and an adjustment layer. And that's basically the other thing you can do too. Is let's do something else. We'll create a mask using a selection instead of adjustment tools. So far you can create masks using this little box down here. You can create masks using adjustments, but I can also create a mask using a selection. For example, if I were to select this particular, now I'm on this layer here, so you have to be careful which layer you're on. I'm going to select this right here. All right. And create a mask with just that on it. Now that's how I can do that. I know what I'll do. I'll create a blank layer here, and then I'll create a mask for this layer based on that selection. Okay, so now if I hit the mask icon, you see what it did. It made a black mask with white where I had selected. If I had selected anywhere else, it would have made white there. So whatever I selected is now white. Now, why would I want to do that? That sort of seems like a silly thing to do. Well, I can make all sorts of adjustments to this particular layer here, do some different things to it, and it'll only impact that area right there. Okay, so that's another way you can create a mask using a selection. And I hope that that helps you. A little different. Thank you.